I got a friend. Eek. Alright, so today we're talking all about calf shelters and how when we calve, you know, it is the beginning of April, first week of April here, but you never know when you can get that winter storm come through or that inclement weather, bad weather coming through. And so we're going to talk all about calf shelters and how we keep those calves alive and well and healthy in a winter storm. Here we go. Come on, little buddy, you can get up. Oh, so close. You're doing good. The geese are flying. It's spring. It's the first week in April, but it's not really all that nice out. The snow is blowing, the wind's blowing like crazy, and so I'm going to show you today how we keep those calves nice and safe and at least out of the weather when we do turn them outside. So here we go. First off, they come out here, which is right outside that barn that you just saw. And they get put in these little calf shelters back here. They don't get put in them, but if the calves find them, they can use them. And you can see that they do use them. They find them really quickly on their own. And these are just little portable, take them, put them wherever, put a little straw on them. And it's just for the first probably 3, 4, 5 days of life. And they work really well. The mom can be right around them or whatever. The one problem that we do have is mom can stick her head in that door and her head takes up like the whole calf shelter. So if there is a problem where if there is something going on, hoofty, where that mom wants to figure out what's going on, sometimes they can kind of freak out all the calves in that calf shelter. But it's at least something for now. So it does work. It's extremely portable. Put it wherever you want. And it's just a metal drum cut in half and cut little holes for that calf to get in. So that's one way of doing it. Another thing I'd just like to point out about all our calf shelters that were made here on this place is they all have a place to hook a chain to. You can move them with the skid steer, tractor, whatever, and it just makes them so just versatile to go wherever you want them to go. And so always have a place for a lifting point on them, just so you know, quick, easy grab and go. But we got one cow almost in the calf shelter with them, so that causes a problem. With that open front like that, it's great for the calves, and it's small. You know, you can't stand up in these, but you can put a little bit of bedding in there, and the calves do well. But the cows seem to really be able to get their heads in there and block the hole if calves want to get out. It is a little bit of a problem. It was a storage tank cut in half, and then welded on the front here is a plate there across the front. It helps keep the wind out a little bit, but it also keeps structure to the roundness, so that when we pick them up, once again we have our lifting points here. Pick them up with the tractor, one on each side. And so this is a calf shelter. It does work, but it's missing, and I'll show you what it's missing that we've done with the other ones that work so well to keep those big cows away from those calves just a little bit, but they still can be in close proximity. So anyways, that calf shelter works really well. The way that we're doing it is we're not getting in there and cleaning it out. We're picking them up with a bidirectional tractor. We're moving them to where we want them to, and we already have that area bedded. We're setting them down on the bedding. So giving the whole calf shelter. We're not getting down in there or anything like that. With them being as mobile as they are, and also as low as they are, that's just the best and easiest way to handle that, keeping them clean, keeping that bedding clean, and also just, not mucking up the mud area, giving them a whole new area to be able to be clean and dry and away from the weather, wind, snow, all of that. Okay, so ultimately, same huge storage tank, cut up a bunch of times, and I actually, out of that one storage tank, I think total four calf shelters were made. But here is the end product of what we've found has worked really, really well for us, giving the calves their space, giving the cows their space. Is here what we got right here. So this is for an old creep feeder, and we've put that around the calf shelter just by putting in T-posts around it. That's all it's holding those in, and it's the exact same metal. It's the exact same metal structure as all the rest of them. Just that barrel cut up with the part with that bracing up front to keep the structure, keep the roundness, and it just works really well. It works best actually to go ahead and put these creep feeders here so that the cows can't get too close and have their heads up into that calf shelter, and it's away from the feeder. These guys aren't trying to lay around and get under the feeder. They're away from the feeder, and they're on their own, kind of. They can have their own time while mom's gonna go eat or whatever. And it's worked out so well to have, like I say, that creep feeder front. They can only get through here, calf shelter, and then once again, when we're gonna clean that out, we're gonna pick up that calf shelter. We're gonna just pull these four T-posts. This becomes free. We're gonna bed a new area. We're gonna set the calf shelter down. Just put the four T-posts in quick, and then go ahead and put the creep feeder gate around it again. So that's what we're doing here to keep our calves clean, keep them out of the weather well, and just give mom her time, I guess, away from them sometimes too. But it works really well to have these little calf shelters that, even though they're small, even though they seem really low profile, hard to work around, they've just become really easy to handle, and they work out amazing. Of these calf shelters is, we're wanting them. This one here is up on a mountain just a little bit, but not too hilly, and it's also, both calf shelters in this particular lot are not too far away from the feeder, and so it just keeps everybody in close proximity, easy and able to find each other well, and so it just keeps everybody content, and it works really good. Man, I hope you're getting paid for all the babysitting you're doing. Goodness. So I hope you're keeping your calves safe and warm this crazy spring. It's been a bit chilly here in South Dakota anyways. I hope the calving season is going well for everybody. And maybe you saw some ideas in these calf shelters that you could use at your place. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.